You're watching TVC Breakfast. Let's get into our last discussion of the day. The girl child in most parts of the world faces a lot of challenges. And today, the world is commemorating the International Day of the Girl Child, which seeks to promote girls' empowerment and the fulfillment of their human rights. It is also a day to create awareness on challenges girls face, such as violence, education, inequality, and child marriage. This year, it focuses on the theme Digital Generation, our generation, which calls for equal access to the internet and digital devices for girls. This is the focus for the discussion today. Joining me to discuss this is girl child advocate Adebola Aderibigbe. It's nice to have you join me this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good to see you. Great. And I also have in the studio the Executive Director, Hazy Health Initiative, Rhoda Robinson. Rhoda, good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
I like the smile this morning. It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
It is a
Great.
wonderful day.
All right, and then I have the 13th President of the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, Engineer Noli Akpedeye. She will be joining us at the course of the discussion. Now, Rhoda, let me start with you before I go to Debola. Now, on a day like this, in fact, I recall the last 2 or 3 days, there has been activities, leading up to today. It's like a build-up. It seems like today is the gangan,
the major celebration.
Talk to me generally. How significant is a day like this?
Okay, thank you, Mike. The International Day of the Girl Child, October 11th, has been celebrated since 2011. And it's a day where we bring more focus on the issues that affect the development and health and productivity of girls around the world. It is also a day to celebrate young girls who have been doing a lot of amazing things, and to understand the fact that until there's a lot of investments in the girl child as well, we would not be able to achieve a sustainable environment or a developed community. And so this day is one where we call on all leaders, both political, social, cultural, and partners to celebrate girls for who they are and allow them the opportunity to do what they must.
I like the word celebrate girls. I like the word celebrate. Now let's bring it to Debola here. You have been in this space, being the voice, being an ambassador of the girl child, and lending your voice to creating awareness about the girl child and all of that. Now talk to us how special a day like this is to you.
I feel that this day that they have set aside to celebrate and recognize girls, it's a day to always make us feel important and to always have it at the back of our minds that we are special, we are full of potential, and we are out there to make a change. And I think this day is just set aside to create that recognition and just to get people to know that we matter in this world as well. All
right. Now let's talk about the issue of making a change, like you talk about. What is this atmosphere of change that you feel having the girl child on board is going to turn around a lot of things?
I mean, girls are as important as boys, but the way we see it, or the way other people think, is the boys have a higher hand than girls. And having girls in decision making and every other thing that involves boys has a great impact and is able to drive them and motivate them to do better. They are able to make more impact as much as boys can, and we have full potential as well.
Now, what has been your message, your strong message over the times? You have been an ambassador of the girl child. You have been a very strong advocate. What has been the message that you put out there and you want all of us to keep resonating it to everyone who cares to listen?
I always end most of my talks with girls matter.
Okay.
We matter a lot, and I always try to also let them remember that they are special, they are loved, and they matter, because oftentimes we tend to forget, because sometimes we accept what the world has thrown at us and it's not meant to be. So we're meant to prove to them that we actually matter and we have what it takes to take the lead.
I like that. Now, when it comes to the issue of the girls matter, which certainly is a strong message there. Where should we begin to, situate this orientation from and to actually make the girl child matter?
Okay, thanks, Mike. I think one of the things that we need to understand is that in all facets of life, the girl child has to have a say in the matter. It is not just about saying girls are equal. It's about showing that their opinions matter. It's about understanding that even if you put the same opportunities in a space, it is harder for a girl to take those opportunities than it is for a boy. And understanding these differences and making allowances for these differences and trying to build structures and systems that bridge this gap is what we're asking for. If you look at the gender gap report of 2021, you'll find that a lot of countries have been progressing. However, there are still major gaps when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to economic opportunities, when it comes to education, when it comes to political participation. You still find there are still large gaps when it comes to the equal participation of both genders. And this is what we need to start taking active steps in. When you talk about education, we'll find out, yes, we have been improving in education, but we still have more than 40% of girls out of school, both primary, and it gets worse as it gets higher. Primary, secondary, tertiary, we still have a lot of girls out of school. When you talk about taking opportunities in STEM, that's science, technology, engineering, and math, you find that less than 30% of these positions are filled by girls. When you talk about leading management positions in firms, you find that less than 20% of firms actually have majority of decision making in female occupied by females. And you find that until you start understanding that it doesn't just stop at saying girls can go to school or girls have an equal, it continues into how safe she feels when she does go to school, how much opportunity she has when she does finish school, what the society is saying about what she can or cannot do. Because you can tell a girl that, yes, you can be a doctor. However, you still expect her to take complete control of her family life and be a 24-hour present mother. The two do not follow. So you have to be able to understand that allowances and changes need to be made in all aspects of a woman's existence, basically.
Yeah. All right, now, Debola, let's talk about some of the little challenges here and there that a girl child faces. From your engagement with a lot of girls, what are some of these challenges that girls face?
I think the very first thing that I tend to notice is low self-esteem. Okay. Like Ms. Rhoda here has said, it's easy for you to always say girls should go to school, girls deserve to be, in the same position as boys and men. But deep down, I still see that they don't even feel confident in what they are saying and what they are championing for. And it's not meant to be, it's actually not easy to try to speak up and stand up to serve as a voice for others. So I think if we're able to build on our confidence and you can show to them that, yes, we are girls, we are bold, we are strong, we are confident. I think that is the pace setter for greatness.
I like the issue of self-esteem. You would like to talk to that because the point there is there are so many questions I'd like to ask you, but talk to that self-esteem before I go back to her.
I think it's one of the major factors that we need to address. Everybody knows that the role of mentorship, the role mentors play in the development of a girl. And you'll find that a lot of girls don't have access to a mentor that can lead them or they can guide them or that can help them build or see a better future for themselves. At Hazy, we run a series of different programs dedicated to ensure that girls have the opportunity to build themselves. Adebola was a winner of 2018 essay competition. And from that period till now, she has grown exponentially. Amazing. She has touched different girls' lives. She has expanded her own horizon because somebody believed in her and believed in her ability to do good things and to do great things. And it's that singular act of confidence in her that brought out her own confidence in herself. And that's what we try to do through our safe space program, through our girls advisory board, through our mentoring programs with different girls across different schools and different companies as well, that help girls understand or dig into themselves to find that the gems that they are. And it's through that support, and not always standing in the front line to say, I am speaking for girls, but actually saying, this girl, this is your opportunity to speak. I am standing behind you. That's what matters.
That is girls speaking to girls.
Yes.
I also take it from that perspective. Now, let me ask you this question I often ask on a day like this, which is part of the reality of where we find ourselves. Culture and religion. These two phenomenon have a very strong hold in who we are as Africans, on what our culture, our religion, and all of that. How are they either helping to push forward or helping to hold back the fight for the girl child?
Well, I'll say it's a 50-50.
50-50?
Yes.
All right, balance it for me. 50-50, simultaneous equation.
So I see people who are trying as much as possible to show their support. But I think the number of people who do not want this, who do not want equality, who do not want equity is actually more than those that want, or those that are pushing.
So it's no longer 50-50.
It's no longer 50-50. So I feel that they may not say it, they don't really have to say it, but you can see it in their actions that they are not comfortable. And what we need is for them not to see that we are scared of them or we are oppressed. So sometimes I think it's also about meeting the right people who are willing to show their support, because if you meet the wrong person, it has a way of diminishing your esteem and the confidence that you've built over a long time. So if you can meet the right people who can push you, who can show that they support you, and who can show that you actually matter as a person and as a girl.
And who believe in the message that you have.
Yes.
But how do we locate those kind of people? They're everywhere, but the point there is, how do we locate them? Because when you find 1, 2, 3, 4, and come together, it has a way of motivating and bringing out the light in you. But how do we locate such kind of people?
I think...
Because it's not written on the forehead.
No, it's not. I think that once you're able to start something, the right people will come to you.
Okay.
Once you're able to start something positive, once you're proving that you're an agent of positive change, I think those people will just come to you naturally.
I see. It's all right. But the important thing there is to start something.
Yes.
Great. Now, let's talk about the issue of girls talking to girls that you started earlier. We see a situation where there is always the issue of girls trying to, or ladies or women trying to, they're working hard to meet up their goals and all of that. And then when it comes to peer review, sometimes we don't see much of that, But how can that be a game changer when girls talk to girls? Like you created a platform. She is here now, reaching out to other people and so on. By the time the pair, two people who are in the same space, talk to each other, use their experiences to shape each other, you see things begin to change. But how do we begin to do that?
I think this is where, as I said before, mentoring comes into play.
Okay.
We currently have a mentoring program that gives opportunity for young women who have built a career for themselves and want to give back and want to sort of be a big sister to other young girls out there who are still trying to find themselves. And this opportunity exists for them to key into the program. They can just contact the organization and say they want to mentor a girl. We have girls everywhere in every state that are looking for mentors. They are looking for women to look up to. They are looking, and it doesn't take too much time. It doesn't take a lot of your time. Just a text message here, a phone call there, a review of something she has written or has done can make a whole lot of difference. Another of our girls who we've worked with. I think she was also the 2020 or 2019 winner of the essay competition. And right now, she's heavily into climate change program, and she's meeting different people, trying to set up a project in her own little street to ensure that they take charge of their own waste. Amazing. And this is amazing because I didn't put that idea into her head. She just walked up to me and said, I want to do this. And I said, fine, you are going to do this. And any support that you need, you can have it. And this is what girls need. Girls need the opportunity to say they have an idea and have people listen to them and support them. They might be wrong, they might be right. It doesn't matter at that point.
That is where mentoring is important.
Exactly.
That's mentoring guides and shapes
them, say, this is what you need to focus on for now, and this is how you can go about it. If you make a mistake, it's completely fine. Mistakes happen. But the fact is that there's somebody there to hold your hand, to guide you to the right position.
All right. Now, Adebola, before we go, we're looking at the time. Just in 1 minute, what project are you involved in right now? What are you doing?
Well, at the moment, I am trying to see how I can create opportunities for other girls, and not just for myself, but to prove to actually live by the phrase that says women supporting women, girls supporting girls. So I'm looking out for opportunities that I can always share on my social media platforms. And lately I've been getting a lot of reviews from people that I never actually expected, and they are happy that I was able to create such opportunities for them. So that's what I'm working on.
Amazing. All right, I wish you well in what you do. On a day like this, so much to talk about, but we don't have all the time. But I believe more activity will be out there. All right, Adebola Aderibigbe, thank you so much for what you do, and thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you so much. Great. Thank you so much to Hazy Health
Thank
Initiative as well.
Rhoda Robinson, thank you very much for what you're doing, and also, you know, creating platforms for girls to find their feet and also achieve their goals.
Thank you
so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.